bring in a defense attorney, Anahita Sedaghatfar, because the legal angle of this is really important too. I mean, you can get as outragey as you want, and this is not right, but you have to look and see if there's any legal recourse. And it does make you wonder. This woman, by the way, a very different situation. This was a woman who was divorced. I believe she had children. She was a DJ well into her career.
She was much older.
She was. She wasn't like sort of a 18 or 19-year-old vulnerable young woman. So it shows the kind of, I don't know, predatory behavior. She says she never signed a non-disclosure agreement with the singer. Does she have legal options available to her?
Absolutely. She can file a civil lawsuit against R. Kelly for sexual assault, sexual harassment, possibly even false imprisonment, because one of the claims she's making is that she was not really free to leave. She had to always be in contact with him. We talk a lot about these NDAs. It's come up in the context of Weinstein as well, and R. Kelly, because he's had other women sign these NDAs. And I can tell you, Michaela, 99% of civil lawsuits that settle contain confidentiality provisions in the settlement agreement. Okay, so the defendant does not admit any liability, and he says, look, I'm basically paying you X amount of money. In exchange, you have to keep your mouth shut. And courts uphold these confidentiality provisions. They are considered part of the benefit of the bargain. And
is it wrong of me to just, if somebody came up with me a non-disclosure agreement, I'd be suspect of what they were going to do to begin with. Like that, right. I mean, it should be a red flag. How difficult of a case is it going to be for this woman? I mean, because when you really think about it, it could be reduced to a he said, she said. I mean, what kind of evidence would a woman have, especially if she's been, he took her cell phone away or would, you know, control her every movement. How easy is that to prove?
Well, that's a great question, because oftentimes these cases are he said, she said, and the issue always in front of a jury is going to be consent. So, of course, if she ends up suing him civilly, he's going to have to provide evidence, whether it's text messages, emails, any other witnesses that will testify. This was an absolutely consensual relationship. She wanted to be here. She wanted to engage in these threesomes with other women. She wanted to live in the confines of my home and be under my control. And of course, she's going to contest that and say, absolutely not. I was coerced like many of these other women.
Let me read a statement. This is from R. Kelly's representation. Mr. Kelly does not control the decision-making or force the actions of any other human being, including Miss Jones, by her own admission. Any claim of wrongdoing of any kind or of mistreatment of any woman by him is false, ill-motivated, and defamatory. It has to be read. You have to read the statement. Anahita, thanks for walking us through that.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me, Michaela.
Our President Trump has